the orchid that we have in today's Orchid in Review is this orchid right here. Or maybe even this orchid right here. Nope, I'm sorry folks, but the orchid that we have in review is this Vanda. And this particular Vanda is a Vanda M.V. Tannins Kirk AM and also AOS awarded. This Vanda can be considered a medium-sized Vanda in comparison to some of your larger-sized Vandas. It is considered to be very easy to grow, giving this orchid its basic Vanda requirements. And a wonderful trait and also a growth habit of this particular Vanda right here is the fact that it does love to create offshoots from the base of the plant. And this one in particular has 2 little offshoots, as you can see, but I've actually had some that grew up to about 6 of them. So indeed, this Vanda in particular can grow quite massive with so many offshoots, and of course having the potential of having many spikes as well off of one single plant. And this orchid right here is also considered a free-flowering orchid, meaning that it can actually bloom at any time of the year, just as long as it's getting its proper requirement. This orchid can also bloom a couple of times a year, meaning that you are going to get an abundant amount of these beautiful blooms right here. Now, the bloom size on this particular Vanda right here is about 3 inches in diameter, and this can actually bloom about 10 to 20 blooms per spike. And not only are the blooms of this Vanda very gorgeous and delightful, but they are also amazingly fragrant as well. And as we take an even closer and more focused look at the actual blossoms itself, you are definitely seeing a nice fusion of tropical sunset colors within the blossoms and also the petals. Now, what I do love most about this fusion of color is that indeed it is very bright and cheery, as you are seeing with that wonderful yellow. Now, on the outer edges and the tips of the petals and the sepal, you're also going to notice that very reddish and very rusty color. And taking a look at the bottom petals right here, you can see that that rusty color is predominantly controlling in those petals. And if we take a close look at that tongue area right there, you are seeing more of a burgundy maroonish color, definitely accentuating the beauty of this bloom. And 2 particular Vandas that are found within this cross is the Limulata and also the Denisoniana. And taking a look at the bloom form and also the color fusion, you indeed can see those contributing factors from both of those orchids. This gorgeous orchid, I do have to tell you, is quite spectacular in the blending of color. Quite a tropically delicious fusion and color combination right here, and I have to tell you, just gazing at this orchid indeed reminds me of sitting beachside watching a glorious sunset that can indeed be found within these gorgeous and very striking blooms. And of course, let us not forget to mention the fact that this is so wonderfully and deliciously fragrant as well, definitely guaranteed to capture your senses. And there you have it, folks. That is a complete Orchid in Review wrap for this Vanda M.V. Tannins right here. Also, I would definitely love to know exactly what your thoughts and opinions are on this particular Orchid in Review for today. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of My Orchid Adventures, and I hope you did like this video. If you did, please be sure to like, share, and also subscribe. Join me on Facebook at My Orchid Adventures, and as you guys already know, I do truly love and appreciate you guys all. I will see you guys later, and I'll also grow with you guys later as well. Mwah.